Your self-improvement and your obsession with optimizing your routine might be making you less authentic, even less alive. To explain this, let me start by quoting Abraham Maslow, one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. In his book, The Farther Reaches of Human Nature, by the way, one of the most important books I've read in my life, he explains self-actualization and describes self-actualizing people in great detail. He talks about different behaviors of self-actualizing people. And one of the contrasts that he makes is between self-actualizing people and experientially empty people. Who are those experientially empty people? Well, you might be surprised to find out that a lot of people that are deep into the self-improvement space, they would be experientially empty rather than self-actualizing. Maslow says that experientially empty people are those people who do not know what is going on inside of themselves and who live by clocks, schedules, rules, and laws. Now, why am I making the argument that self-improvement or obsessive self-improvement can lead you towards becoming an experientially empty person? That is, person that has lost touch with their essence and is therefore not experiencing life fully and deeply, and is not becoming who they're supposed to be. Well, it's because self-improvement space is so focused on the best routine, the most optimal routine. And once you supposedly find the quote-unquote best, most optimal routine, or when you accept this or that productivity and self-improvement guru telling you that this is what you should do, then people tend to follow it blindly, like a law, like a rule that cannot be questioned. And when Maslow says experientially empty people are people who live by clocks and schedules, well, what does that remind you of, if not of the person who has every day of their week structured hour by hour and wouldn't want to make a compromise, no matter what the circumstances are, wouldn't want to compromise on their rigid schedule for the sake of hanging out a bit longer with their friends, or for the sake of having a spontaneous experience of trying something new, having a meal somewhere else, taking a longer walk than usual. Whatever the case may be, people who are living overly structured, rigid lives might be accomplishing externally more than most. I've met a lot of those people, and I was one of those people before. However, that is not leading to you truly nurturing your potential, because your potential is to become a full human. And to be a full human is more than to be at your most productive. It is to develop meaningful relationships, to have moments of spontaneous joy. All of these things cannot be programmed. They cannot be predicted. Living a life that is perfectly predictable doesn't allow for moments of spontaneous joy, doesn't allow for what Maslow called the peak experience. Because if you're living your life by the clock, by the schedule, you are by default not allowing life to throw something new at you. You are trying to exert control over all aspects of your life. And here is a question that you can ask yourself to see whether your routine and your self-improvement journey are serving a healthy purpose that is providing foundation for living a full life, or whether they are making you less authentic and less alive. For any single rule that you have, for any single aspect of your routine that feels especially important, ask yourself this question: am I willing to compromise on this rule ever, for any reason, under any circumstances? If not, then the next question is why? Is it just because? Just because it's important to wake up at this time? Just because it's important to go to sleep at this time? Because it's healthy to do this or that? Or is it because at this stage in your life, implementing and following this rule is extremely important because it will take you to your desired goal? If the answer is latter, then you are not necessarily an experientially empty person. You are probably just making strong sacrifices, important sacrifices for the achievement of your goal. But if the answer is former, that you have these hard rules, strict rules in your life just because. And then when something in your life challenges those rules, you feel upset, you feel disrupted, then I hate to say it, but you might be what Maslow called the experientially empty person. You're not listening to your inner voice. You're not listening to the essence of who you are, which is always prompting you to experience life fully. You are listening to whoever said that this is the best routine. Or you are listening that part of yourself, which is not the most authentic part of yourself, which figured out the routine. So you might say, okay, I'm not following any productivity guru. This is my routine. I figured it out, therefore it's authentic. Is it authentic that you would never compromise on your rules for the sake of new life experiences? By new life experiences, I don't mean you going clubbing and accepting every social invitation and abandoning your goals, abandoning the structured pursuit of your goals. I don't mean that. I mean whether you are able to have a spontaneous moment of enjoyment, whether spending time with friends or reading a book or training or going on a walk, where that experience, whatever it is, requires you to shift and bend your schedule a little bit. If you're not able to do that, then you're not living your life. You're living a schedule. You're not becoming who you are supposed to be. You are becoming a very good follower of the clock, of the most optimal routine. So I'm leaving you with this question. If you are someone who is disciplined, if you are someone who is deep into their self-improvement journey, ask yourself whether your self-improvement journey and your routine are serving you or whether you are serving them. You will be able to answer this question if you ask yourself honestly, and then based off of that, you can see whether you're moving towards living your life more and more fully and becoming more and more true to yourself, or whether you need to take a step back or at least a side step and reassess your relationship with routine, structure, discipline, and self-improvement. Please let me know in the comments what is the case for you. Are you too deep into self-improvement, or maybe none of this relates to you because you're actually struggling to follow your routine and to show up for the structure that you would like to have? In any case, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, stay strong, love life, never feel sorry for yourself, move towards being more and more fully alive, light that raging fire in your heart, and always go beyond. Thank you.